let me just make sure on our YouTube channel, since it's our first time doing this, that we are indeed live. What is up, everybody? What is up? What is up? What is up? Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Can you confirm that we're live, Tyler?
That is what we are. We are indeed live on YouTube. And if we go to our X account, we are indeed live on X as well. So, guys, welcome. It looks like we actually have a handful of eyeballs in here with us. So, welcome to GlifTV episode 002. My name is J-Boogs Creative. I am part of the go-to-market social media team here at Glif, and I am joined by Enigmatic E, who is also part of the same team, our fearless leader and CEO and co-founder. Fabian, is it Fabian or Fabian? I think I use both interchangeably.
I'm like super fine with both. It's technically Fabian. It's technically Fabian, but I'll do Fabian any time of the day.
Okay, awesome. And we are also joined by one of our product engineers, right, William? Product engineer?
Yeah. Perfect.
Awesome. So these episodes every week are going to be the Glif Crew, hopefully different mixtures of us, but mostly the social media and go-to-market team, talking about all of the latest and greatest stuff in the creative AI world that kind of has us excited, and we just want to react to all of it and get together and pick it apart as a team. And today we happen to have one of the biggest kind of like, oh my God, bombs probably since like Veo 3 or ChatGPT image, which of course is Nano Banana, which has since been revealed to be Gemini Flash 2.5, which I think it was pretty clear to everyone from the very beginning that it was Google, because everyone on LM Arena was saying Google's Nano Banana. It's like, how do you guys think anyone like? Why do you think that was just like the immediate thought? Was it because it was too good?
I mean, you can just ask it, right? Like, I mean, folks, like what I would always do, like with these image models, is like you basically go and you say like, create an image about yourself, a handwritten note, telling us all about you. And then with this model on LLM Arena, it would always say in like perfect writing, I'm an image model created by OpenAI. No, I would say by Google. I am an image model trained by Google, or like I'm a large language model trained by Google, and it would do that without fail. So I was pretty convinced that that's the story, and I think a lot of others basically did the same thing.
So some employees too, like some employees like tweeting like banana emojis or something like that.
That came at a later stage, yeah, when they were kind of like.
I think like those things aside, who else could create an image editing model that was better than OpenAI's flagship image editing model, which had come out just a few months earlier? Like, I feel like it's quite a small range of people. I don't think we would have seen an open source or like maybe a smaller lab or an unknown lab jump into that top spot with such an amazing model off the bat.
But Flux is a small team, and Flux Context is obviously up there with some of the best editing models. And then, so I wouldn't underestimate like smaller crews doing amazing stuff.
No, for sure.
So to me, I mean, the giveaway was just like, well, it says it's trained by Google, and since it's not like with image models, they're not like LLMs. Even though this one might be a bit of an LLM, obviously, but usually with LLMs, they're super unreliable when it comes to them saying who trained them, because they train on each other's output so much that like half of the LLMs will say they're basically created by OpenAI, when that's just not the case. It's just sort of synthetic data, I guess. But with image models, it's more reliable, presumably. But yeah, I wouldn't discount the small teams. I think they can do amazing stuff. And Flux is a great example.
Yeah.
What have you guys done or have you seen from Nano Banana that individually has built your own little personal hype train on it? For me, it's the fact that I can now actually do image edits via text, and if I put myself in the image, the output actually still has my face on it. I think that's what kept me from doing a lot of the image editing with like context and even Quen and especially ChatGPT, was that like the person I would get back would be like, you know, J Boogs from the other dimension.
Eric, do you want to?
Yeah, I think that I mean I still have a lot to experiment with it, but you know, like flux context, you know, I feel like sometimes it's because of like the quality sometimes is not always there when it generates stuff, and especially if you kind of reiterate on the same like a similar image over and over again, the quality starts to degrade. But I think overall, just like how well it does with like I did a test today where I wanted to show like a different perspective of an image, and it actually does pretty well. But then also it has its quirks still, and I'm sure some people that have been testing it have found things that they found like, oh, this doesn't look good or something. I've been seeing people comment on like how it's kind of overhyped a little bit, but I think they're still there to still figure out and find out and see what it's still try to figure out what its strength and weaknesses is. Yeah, it's still very new.
Yeah, same for me. I mean, like, I got really hyped when I tried it on LM Arena, and maybe I also got like a little bit lucky with the few tries I had, where it was like absolutely amazing. It was also quite fast, to be honest. And now that I've tested a bit more, like I'm still like hyped. I love it. I think it's a real step up from what we've had before. But there are some like remaining issues with it, right? So it's like it's not perfect. It's really good. It's not perfect. And I would kind of say it's definitely the best editing model that we have, which is like something that's so needed and unlocks so much composability and cool stuff that you can do in combination, especially with all the new video models. Like just being able to take a single image and then somehow stay within that world model, which is like faces, the interior objects, and kind of like just move the camera or like give it like some narrative twists without like basically starting from Adam and Eve and do the whole scene again, and you get like these weird other things going on. So that's a big step up, and that really excites me. But yeah, like it's like there's a lot of like testing that still needs to be done, and I think we should be kicking the tires on this stream today.
Yeah, so my biggest the thing that I've been trying to figure out is when giving it multiple images, like using like, okay, this is the main image for the composition and the subject, and like this is essentially the image that you're doing the edits to. What is actually the best way to give it the other image or images that you want to add to it somehow? Is it literally just throwing them all in and telling it? Is it putting them all on like a whiteboard type thing and annotating it? That's what I've been trying to figure out the most, and I have not quite landed on an answer yet.
Yeah, lots of testing that still needs to be done. I think one thing where I thought it's really promising is style transfer, and in particular, kind of like getting textures right. Because I'm a big fan of style transfer. Basically, it's kind of like treating the whole web, like treating every image that's out there as like an sref in Midjourney slang, right? Where you're kind of like, can I create in this specific style, and is it capable of picking up on all the subtleties of style, of which there's so many, right? Like there's kind of like obviously the way something is drawn, kind of like the way the paint texture is like appearing in 3D, or like the specific color grading of like some cinematic universe. Being able to do style transfers really well is like, it's always something that I'm trying to do and that I'm really keen to do. And so far my testing's been really promising with it. So it's quite good at that.
Gotcha. Well, here, let's start kicking the tires a little. And
Let's do
let
it.
me show you guys kind of the little experiment that I was running where, so here we have two separate glyphs on the glyph site. This first one is an iteration where I put Nano Banana along with Claude connected to it, where I have Claude enhancing whatever the basic prompt is I'm putting in that prompt box, telling it I want to change this. So I'm saying the model in this image is holding a massive bundle of bananas, and Claude is expanding on that with the detail. And I feel like with having Claude do that, I've been getting really great results from here. Whereas with this one, where I give the model the image, so I have the main image, the reference image, and I gave it the exact same prompt, and this one does not have Claude on the backside, because when you give Claude in this context the two images, we get that error, right, where it's like it's overloaded. This
I have a fix for that.
You do?
I have a fix for that. Yeah.
Because I have a sneaking suspicion that if I was able to have Claude on the backside of this one doing the same thing, that this massive bundle of bananas would look way better.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, who knows? It's kind of like the multiple image thing. I haven't like tested that in detail. Like the first thing I built with it was this like virtual try-on. Obviously, because that's like such a sort of powerful use case where you kind of like you give a selfie of yourself as the first image, and then you give a second image, which is an outfit that you want to wear, and that does work really, really well, but like not always. It's kind of like it gets confused. For example, if the outfit image you give it is, so that's me taking the trash out and then sort of transforming myself in this moment of like, with a lack of dignity, I'm transforming myself into this gentleman. And so I have Kling doing the last frame, first
I
frame
love how
thing.
the wool like whoosh.
This is also, yeah, this is a Claude agent writing the prompts for it, so it kind of like it's a bit exuberant with its ideas. So but yeah, I loved how that one turned out. And so if you just give it the outfit and a selfie, that works really well. But if you give it like two people and you tell it like the first one is me, and I want you to sort of put this outfit from the second person onto me, now that's when it kind of like loses track. And sometimes it'll just give you the original image back, the first one or the second one, or it'll like not really know what to do with it, which is somewhat surprising, to be honest. But I mean, who knows? Like, I don't know enough about the architecture yet of how it works to kind of like explain some of these issues, but it does work phenomenally well if you give it like a proper outfit and a proper selfie.
So I tried to really push it here with this one. So I just in TL Draw, I put these three images on, and I annotated them with the 1, 2, 3 with the arrows, and I told it image 1 is the main output, that's the composition. I want you to put the facial expression from 2 on 1 and the holographic visor from 3 on 1. And
what was the model that originally we learned this trick on? Was it GPT image 1 that we started doing this label the image with the instructions trick?
So
Nice.
I think so. And so I still am actually very impressed with this, given it completely left out the facial expression of girl number 2. But given that it like took the image off the whiteboard, made her the main output, and put the visor on her, that I was actually really impressed with.
yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, it's interesting that it treats like the instructions in your image relatively, like it deals with them relatively well. So that's cool.
And then yesterday, when I was having a bit of fun with our post, this video right here, so I wanted to try to get a little bit of trickery on it. So I just ran outside, recorded this with my phone, and when I turned around here, so like the frame where I was turned already, I had changed the mountain behind me with Nano Banana into the erupting volcano. So the frame was actually this one. This was the image that Nano Banana generated, and the frame that I gave Kling to do like the first frame, last frame from was somewhere like right here.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Right.
so the trick with these things for me isn't like, so it's not giving it this one where the mountain is still there and then having the mountain transform, because I want there to be like some like, yeah, like there has to be like motion, like in motion going into the transformation. So I give it the actual like this, something from this part, and then I tell Kling to make the camera pan, and then ta-da. And it just
But I like how you like are like casually like, what was that?
but even Kling now, I mean, I'm increasingly more and more impressed how like it can turn my face, and it's when my face comes back, I albeit a much sillier version of myself, but I am still very much myself.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's really cool. That's a neat trick. So you kind of like, you're taking you're not taking just the last frame, but you rather just like you go back in time and you take like one that's just before like some motion happens.
Exactly.
And
So
then
I'm
you
giving
pray
it
to the AI gods to figure it out correctly.
So I figure out what frame I want the like AI part to start on, and then it's starting a solid like 10 to 20 frames before that, so there's like a lead in into it, so it feels more natural. Because with that type of stuff, my goal is to always try to trick the person's eye the first time they watch it and make them think like, wait, what is this AI?
Yes. This I feel like this is a whole genre that's super interesting, right, to explore right now. It's kind of like this mixed media sort of stuff where you do like some, some TikTok style selfie type of mockumentary documentary thing, but then like all of a sudden you introduce the magic, and you kind of like use the AI stuff for these special effects that are mixed with like obvious real footage. That one's also really great. Did you do this, Eric?
Yeah, I did this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, talk us through it.
So like the very first frame, like not this one, like right there was the very first frame. Yeah, that one is the very first frame. So I used Nano Banana to, I instructed it to give me a different angle, which is that angle right there, and I told it specifically. And this is what I think is really impressive. I told it, put this exact image inside the phone, and give me a different perspective. And it did it really, really well. Like it's the exact image in the phone, and it's like I was just really, really impressed by that. And then in betweens, I was using Kling 2.1 started in frames to get those really smooth transitions that I just really love. It's like my favorite thing to use right now is the Kling.
It's almost like Google and Kling kind of like got together and decided to release these in the same time frame,
Yes,
the same
timing,
2 weeks.
right?
They're like a match made in heaven, these two models. The last frame,
gosh.
first frame thing, together with the ability to just edit anything in any way, do whatever you want, is just so magical. Like it unlocks so much.
On that note though, do you think that Kling feels pressure from Veo 3, or do you think not so much because of the drastic difference in the pricing of them?
I don't know enough about the company Kling to talk about that. Like, I know Kling the model, and I think it's great, but I have like not really dug into like who's behind it, who's funding it. So that's a pass for me. Can't comment on that. I'm glad we have both, and I'm glad we have all these like models, and I think it's like absolutely incredible that you get this competition in the space, right? Where because it's like it's the best news for creators because prices will continue to sort of drop. There's price pressure, And then at the same time, there's innovation pressure. So folks are trying to sort of outdo each other with doing better and better models, and kind of also not hiding stuff because, you know, someone might use it to create fake news or something. So they're like a bit more libertine around the whole thing. And so for creators, this is all just great news. The fact that we get so many different models, and they all have like their strengths and weaknesses and their kind of applications. And then you kind of like, I mean, personally, I feel like kid in the candy store where you're like, holy shit.
You know what that variety to me kind of shows me is like that essentially there can be like style that can be, because people typically say, well, AI is like the same, you know, but when you have these different models that do different things, and they some of them even look different and react different, like eventually, you know, maybe that can become a style. Like it allows for just so much variety that people can have a preferred one and say like, I don't like using Kling, but I like using this and I like using that, and it just kind of starts to diversify a style in a way. And I just think that's really cool.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking the other day, like, how lucky are we that text is the like agreed upon interface for all these models? Like, they default native way of interacting with these models, with an image model, with a video generation model, with another text model, is via text. Like, it doesn't have to be that way. It could be that the AI developed independently of the ability to control it via chat. It just so happens that these products are all launching with chat. It's amazing.
Let's try some prompts, maybe. Tyler, you just did like, what was that? Give it. Maybe you can zoom in a bit on the prompt. It's like it's this guy stealing a bunch of GPUs.
So I told him I said the model in this image is holding a massive bundle of NVIDIA 5090 GPUs, and it gave me the actual GPU boxes, but I want to see him holding the graphic cards.
Right. Can you run this in the builder so we can see the prompts that Claude is coming up with? Because I'm curious. If you hit edit.
Boom, and then let me grab that image again. Boom.
It's a cool image.
All right, so here we go. We'll put the link in here. Bam. Upload. And we're gonna say the model is holding a bundle of NVIDIA 5090 graphics cards in his arms. And then when we run that, oh, I should have put the image in here. It's okay. I'll do that next time. The prompt that Claude wrote is a masked figure in a pristine white tactical jacket and crane knit balaclava crate. So you're like, this is way more than I would have written by myself, right? And I think most people, when they're prompting Nano Banana, are doing it pretty straightforward and concisely. But I've been getting really great results with letting Claude expand on my very simple ideas.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I think there's like part of the vision of a model like Nano Banana is because it's like somehow LLM shaped, is that there is obviously intelligence built into it. So like it'll do its own type of interpretation anyway of what you wrote. But in this case, like it's never going to be as good of an LLM as Claude for Sonnet, right? It's not going to be like a SOTA state of the art LLM. And so in this way, you can basically make use of Claude's phenomenal world knowledge to really enrich your prompt and come up with like specific ideas that you may not have had, or that you may have been too lazy to put in, and kind of like just expand on your vision. That is pretty good.
That's pretty good. That is pretty good. And it even like here's the original image for the side by side right there.
Yeah, and this is like, I think this is a great example because it's kind of like, if you think about like anyone who's played with Photoshop will know like how much work this would have been inside of Photoshop, like getting the lighting right, getting the thing just arranged on there. Like even if you watched like a YouTube video of someone doing it sped up, it would be like an hour or something, right? I don't know if I'm exaggerating here, but like
No,
based on
no,
my
you're
my
totally
limited
right.
Photoshop experience, it's like this would have been so much work, and it did a job as good as you can do on this concept. It's crazy.
So what should we ask this guy to be jumping over?
Let's ask the chat. Chat, do you have a prompt?
Any suggestions?
I want to be paid. Do you have a prompt for us? Actually, I want to be paid. Ask if we can show some of the nano banana reasoning. I don't know. Oh, you mean like we put in something, we give it an image. I'm not sure what you mean. Like giving it an image and seeing like how it describes that image, like checking in on its like image to text logic capabilities.
I think it sounds like, can we find some concept or some prompt that will be a visual demonstration or a visual test of its ability to reason?
Right.
Maybe that's how I interpreted that.
It's a good one. William, do you have an idea? Do you have an idea for this one?
Oh, give me-
I have an idea. I have an idea. Like, how about we do something really simple? However, I think for that, we should probably switch off Claude, because Claude is otherwise going to do the reasoning for us, and we want to see Nano Banana's reasoning. So it's kind of like, we'd have to sort of like just delete that Claude block or make a remix of that glyph. And then we can delete the Claude block, and we can kind of like run it in parallel and compare the Claude version with the non-Claude version, which will also be interesting. And then we can like give it this image and be like, show the next scene, right? You show the next scene, we'll have to sort of trigger some reasoning inside of the model.
Exactly. It's a good example.
Think about like, okay, there's a guy mid-air. In the next scene, presumably, he might be landing on his feet, or I don't know, fly out of the window.
Okay, so you said first step is delete the LLM block?
Delete the LLM block. And then you got to sort of just pipe in your raw input, right? Like just the sort of text input. And now you should be getting like just the sort of prompt into the Nano Banana model. And we could try something like show the next scene. Show the next scene of this story.
I was thinking we could try something like show this upside down through the eyes of a mantis shrimp or something as well.
Well, this one totally didn't work.
What's going on there now?
I have this one. Let me see.
Oh no! You still have the text block in there, right?
Oh no! But that was what I ran previously. This is the.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah. So that's super funny though. That's interesting.
Can you explain what's going on?
I gave it the image of the model. I said the model is jumping over baby pandas, and Claude wrote the prompt, which I guess a graceful fashion model captured mid-leap. Maybe I have to say the model in this image.
Yeah, maybe we hide the chat here and make the screen a bit larger.
Yeah.
There we go. Well, here. So this is the next scene from just the raw Nano Banana reasoning.
Interesting. That is very interesting.
It doesn't quite work, but it's reasonable enough.
it's not like, yeah, it's like, it's maybe, or maybe like try something like, not the next scene, because it might take that very literal and be like, well, there's the jumping scene, and once it's done with the jumping, it moves on to the street scene. Like maybe try like show the next, show the frame 10 frames after this one.
That's a good one.
But it's interesting. Like, this is cool. It kind of like, it does show that it's kind of like thinking in terms of a world, and
What
it's
about-
somehow like simulating some sort of narrative.
What about you think it'll figure out POV of this person? Kind of.
Well, like a
Oh, yeah,
perspective change.
Yeah,
That's a good
yeah,
one,
yeah.
too.
That is a
Yeah.
good one. So okay. Well, at the very least, while we're waiting for that one, changing it from the model is jumping over baby pandas to the model in this image is jumping over baby pandas makes the difference between it giving you just some random image versus actually remaining in the context.
Yeah,
Right.
it needed that
Right.
extra context to.
Which like does show like some lack of reasoning, to be honest.
Oh,
Because it's kind of like, well, I'm giving you the image.
apparently whatever happened 10 frames after was outside of moderation.
Jeez.
That's interesting.
That's
Not
super
safe
funny.
for
Let's
work.
try that again.
That's weird, actually. Well, you know what? Like, it might be like a copyright sort of thing, where they're trying to go, oh no, we don't want you to recreate exact stills from movies, which was like really possible, for example, with Midjourney. And so that sort of prompt might trigger some part of the model or some part of the moderation to say, ooh, they're
Yeah.
trying to get like exact stills from films.
That must be it, because it's just
Yeah.
saying. So let's say
Maybe the next second. Ask it like, what's gonna happen in the next second after this? Something like that.
I want
I
to
mean,
try
that's-
something. I want to try something where it has to make a judgment about the world. Like, for example, if we say through the eyes of a dog, you know how dogs have different vision to humans. See how it represents that.
wait, say
Or
that
do you think that's-
say that again, William?
I'm just wondering, maybe it's overrepresented in like the training data, so it's not actually true reasoning. But if we could try come up with some odd example of something like through the eyes of a dog or through the eyes of a mantis shrimp, see how it represents something like that. Do you know what I'm saying?
A B.
Yeah.
Like how many B cortices Google has had in their visual cortices Google has had in their training data.
Also, real quick, we gotta give a shout out to everyone in the chat joining us for only our second stream, because I do see a handful
Yes.
of familiar faces from my usual Friday night stream crew that came to check out what we're doing here. So we got a pretty decent sized chat happening right now. Okay, so the next second worked, whereas we can't do 10 frames after.
Too much.
That is interesting. I mean, it's like not really the next second. It's like it's like temporally adjacent to the situation in some weird way, but it's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, it's really cool.
Show me this image through the eyes of a cat watching from the ground.
Perfect.
That's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I assume cats also have different vision to humans as well.
Yeah.
Do cats see color? I think they might not.
They say dogs don't, right?
Yeah.
And then there was something that I think would be
do.
a pretty good test here too. Let me grab the image, because I saw someone in the chat ask for it. So let me find the right image here.
The guy with the Ferrari next door is really going crazy again. Tyler.
Yeah, sorry, I'm going to mute the mic. It's the yard guy.
The yard guy can afford a Ferrari. That's amazing.
Jeez, man. All right, what did it do?
Well, there we got the cat paw, William.
Oh, great.
Okay.
That's cute. So presumably a cat POV always has like some paw.
Do you think it can figure out like the guy's POV, like that it can switch to what he's
Yeah,
looking at?
let's try
Yeah,
that.
we've got to do that.
That would be insane if we can start doing stuff like that. I doubt it can do it, but
I did see a tweet earlier from a screenshot of Blade Runner 2049, and they'd like repositioned one of the scenes, and the tweet was saying like, "Oh, wild that you can like have any scene in any film or TV show from any angle."
Yeah, it's kind of, I mean, I'm sure you can get it to do that, and it might take a few tries and not always work, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like one of these things where it's always like you have to test it yourself, do your own research.
Yeah.
Because obviously if you just like look at Twitter, X, they're gonna show like very cherry-picked examples and be like, oh my God, is it gonna change everything, etc., etc. But yeah, you got to really test it yourself, figure out whether it can do that reliably, because if it makes a huge difference if it can do it reliably versus non-reliably. Non-reliably is still cool because you can like, just like keep trying until you get the exact shot that you need. But let's say if you use it inside of like an agentic framework and you use it like in a very automated way, then it needs to be sort of for these specific type of use cases, it needs to be more reliable. And this is can you make that larger, Tyler? Can you just click on the image? So this is now what it did when asked do this from the POV of the person.
Of the subject. So now I'm going to try to make that prompt just a little bit more specific and tell it, show the first person perspective from the eyes of the subject in the image.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking also multi-image. Once multi-image is working as we'd expect it to, the ability to have like multiple reference viewpoints for a single scene and an actual much higher degree of fidelity to what that scene looked like is going to be so cool.
Well, here is the blinged out teeth of a pit bull turned into gummy bears.
nice.
I actually think that's pretty good.
That is pretty good. Yes.
It would be funny to
Yes.
see what Kling would do for starting in frame with that. It'd be kind of
Oh, with that would.
It's true, but for Kling to do like a really good transition on there,
It has
you'd
to be
also want to
different.
sort of slightly change. Like you want to do a third edit. You want to go on the gummy bear picture, do a third edit on that, and be like slightly alter the perspective, but keep the rest of the image the same. Is that way you get like a bit more motion into the transition?
Yeah, it seems like if you give it something that's too close, is to the same, it doesn't do much, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is also where kind of like my logic with doing the frames the way I do when I make those VFX videos is like you don't want to give it an image with only like one thing that's changed, because then where's the motion going to come from, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Though
Okay.
what you could probably do with Kling is like then you have to work through the prompt, right? Like you could do something like the dog's turning its face away, closing its mouth, and then it's turning it back again at the camera, opening the mouth, revealing the sort of novelty teeth.
make the dog in this image look to the left. Because then if we did a start image of the dog with the teeth and then he looks to the left and he has the gummy bears, then we have some motion and things can change.
Right.
But
Right.
okay.
And it's only a matter of time until we'll have like a video model that does like mid frames too, basically.
Yeah,
I mean, you can do that already, right? Like basically you just do it with stitching. So maybe that's a moot point.
Pika tried to do it. It was a little but it they tried to do it with being able to give up to like 5 keyframes for the video.
Right. Right.
So
Which
this
was
is what it
What
gave
was the
us.
prompt?
This is what it gave us for show the first person perspective from the eyes of the subject in the image. So I think we're seeing where it breaks down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Tyler,
was some-
can I screen share for a bit?
Please.
I'd love to sort of show some of the. I'd love to do some tests on style transfer because that seemed so promising when I tried it out earlier today.
Go for it.
So let me just share my entire screen, and I'll go to Pinterest here because my favorite way of testing this is with real images elsewhere, and then just using the Glif browser extension where I have set up a workflow that basically does either just like Nano Banana raw, or I have a specific style transfer workflow that we can try. But basically, I'm just going to right-click, glyph it, this image, bring up the extension, and I've got the standard edit an image with Nano Banana workflow here. So we can try that first. And I just like pick this random illustration, but I'm going to just try and be some very simple prompt in the same style. Let's do the sort of standard challenging prompt of a horse riding an astronaut. Simple illustration. And now this is going to take a few seconds. Have you noticed it getting slower today? I mean, I think they're getting really hammered on their GPUs, TPUs. So like, because like I could swear it was faster on Ella Marina than it's now in the API, but that just might be because everyone and their cousin is trying it out. So it's like, yeah, it shows me like 65 seconds on average.
Using it via the API today, I definitely have had some really slow ones and some really fast ones.
And it varies a lot, like just
Yeah.
based on when you run it, which tells me it's a sort of, it just bottlenecked on compute. So that means we can just like run a few of them in parallel. So I'm gonna go back. Okay, we got a result. So yeah, this one, very bad. Very bad. Like, first of all, we get it wrong. Astronaut is riding the horse, not the horse, the astronaut. Of course, that's an S tier hard prompt, but it's also like it's not really done that style so well. So
No.
I'm not gonna rate that. I'm not gonna rate this one. Let's try something. Let's try something like this in the same style. What should we do?
I think you could make the prompt even simpler. Just like make this an elephant.
Maybe.
You could try it out, I guess.
Make this an elephant. Let's try it. And I'm gonna sort of open it up in another tab, and then in parallel try in the exact. Now we're gonna do like something different in the exact same style of a blurry retro black and white photograph. Elephant, and then we can compare, which is interesting. Like, how much of a difference will that make? Elephant is tricky for, I would say, this particular aspect ratio, which is the thing. Some people dislike this about both Flux Context and Gemini 2.5 Nano Banana, is that it will always return the aspect ratio of the provided input image. I think it's great. Because like my main use case is editing, not necessarily this type of stuff. And so with editing, like I hate it when it like forces you to use like whatever aspect ratios are allowed. Like that's a big problem with GPT image, in my opinion, that it's like it only has like I think 4 different aspect ratios you can pick from. What do you all think?
Yeah, especially for if you're using, I mean, for what I use it, I definitely love to have. Oh shoot.
Oh
So
my god.
we see this like there's a big difference, right? And like this is actually what I wanted, because I wanted like style transfer, which means that I want this style, like this exact style, which is this like very specific, somewhat washed out black and white, weird retro photograph, and get a new one. And I think it did super well. Like we even get holy shit. Check this out. You know what what
Ooh.
these are?
Is it like hairs?
The scratches, the dust.
This is dust. When you do analog photography, you get like this, like if you're not like super careful, you get the dust. I think it might be sort of a scanner artifact. And wow. I'm like,
Really good.
I'm blown away that it's been adding that, even though I'm not sure whether the original image actually has this type of dust.
It,
There's hints of it. This is a maybe here. So this is a world model thing. So it's kind of like, okay, I'm doing this like type of photography, so I'm going to give it these sort of scratches.
yeah. Maybe
pretty
it
cool.
analyzes it and sees, it kind of sees what style it is, and it's like, well, okay, well, let's add these things because this is the style that it's from.
Yeah. And here, like I mean, it literally did what you asked, William. Make this an elephant.
I'm happy with my result.
I think this is you got what you asked for here. So this is pretty cool. And now we can go. Oh, oops, don't want my password mentioned. We can go remove the weird mask. Let's see.
Hey, Fabian, somebody asked.
Yes.
Glif has a Chrome plugin. Somebody asked.
Yes, there is a Chrome extension, and you can find it by just searching Glif browser extension, and it's the first Glif Remix the Web with AI Chrome Web Store. This year, I just updated. I don't know why Google takes ages to update this. So there should be a nice overview video, but it's like it couldn't be simpler. You just add it to Chrome, and then like on most images on the web, not all, because some images are not really images. They're just like weird. On most images, it'll just work. You can just go and basically say, like, let's take this weird, interesting, cool Tamagotchi style. Let's take this one, and I'll go, and then just hit right-click, Glif it, and it opens up this menu. And on the menu, you can choose like from various workflows, and it'll also pull your own workflows, and you can paste any Glif in there and just run that. So any Glif workflow that has a input image as its first input block and a text input as its second is compatible with this extension. And so here is like this is a standard edit an image with Nano Banana. So here, let's do something like in the same style, create a Pokemon card of a weird elephant goddess Pokemon that's called Elephantis. And stats are ivory damage 1000. Let's do something crazy. And trunk attack fast. Let's go. Meanwhile, we can check this one. I didn't like, so I'm gonna just get rid of it. But I wanted to see. Yeah, now we got this one without the. This is a cool.
Oh, and wait, what'd you tell it to go from the first? You just said remove the weird mask.
This is the cool thing about the extension. You can just keep going, right? Because this is the one that we got after William said, make it an elephant. And so I just like hit right click, Glif it on that one. And then I basically told it remove the weird mask. So it's kind of like,
I love how it interpreted the value judgment in weird and knew exactly what to do.
that is a really interesting point, because it's like what's weird to us might not be weird to,
Yeah.
So that's an interesting thing to think about.
100%. Yes.
You might have thought that the elephant was a mask and it could have taken that off, but it
That is true. Yes. I don't even remember what the original image looked like at this point. Is it here? Yeah, it's this one. You know what? I want to, like, while we're waiting for this other, I want to try like this other thing, and we're going to do a bit of a leak here, where I'm going to show this. Like, I have this transition guru agent that I've been working on. It has a Windows 3.1 theme, so ignore that, but I'm going to just like do this. I'm going to give it this image and first frame, and then I'm going to give it our output image, which was, where is it? This one. And last frame. Just go YOLO mode. No need to ask me. Animate these. And it's just going to go off and apply Cling to these. First, it's going to analyze both of these images to understand what it's working with, so Claude can come up with the right prompt for it. And then it's going to sort of come up with the prompt, and then it's going to run Cling 2.1 using these as the this is going to be an incredible surreal transformation.
Inquiring minds would like to know, does the agent know what YOLO mode is?
Yeah, I taught it basically to do YOLO mode. I think it made a memory when I kind of told it that YOLO mode means it doesn't have to ask me about, like, because I basically usually wanted to sort of like give me the prompt first before I burn credits on generating, and YOLO mode means no, you just do your thing. So this is going to take a bit. It's running Cling now with these, so we can check that out later. And meanwhile, we can check this. Wow. Okay.
Mess up the name a little, but I am very impressed with this.
It's very impressive.
Weird Pokemon or fake Pokemon card, presumably. I don't know if this is a real one. It looks kind of weird. It looks AI generated, may I say. And then we get this one here. So our prompt was, in the same style, create a Pokemon card of a weird elephant goddess Pokemon that's called Elephantus. Elowantus, okay.
I'll take it.
Stats are Ivory damage 1000, Trunk attack fast. And Ivory damage, it adds more text. Deity Pokemon, length 20 inch, weight 39 pounds. Strikes will a coin, Pernon. Unleahers with Akit for Onrozomic. I think this is like we summoned Cthulhu. We summoned Cthulhu here. But this is pretty good. This is cool. Like, I think the one thing I'd be quite curious about is, like, how can you improve the like, is there a prompt that will make sure that this text is all great? Because this is amazing already, but it's still, like, obviously not usable in a way, right? Like, if this was a game asset, it would have to be perfect. But it is pretty cool.
Yeah, so Ramos, all Fabian did was using the Glif Chrome plugin. He literally just took an image from Pinterest and right on the same page, remixed it using Nano Banana.
Ooh,
that's actually really nice.
That is pretty cool.
I love the concept.
It's pretty good. Like, let's check what prompt it used. So it said, geometric spike headpiece dissolves into organic elephant features, metallic rods melting and flowing like liquid mercury. Camera holds steady as surreal transformation unfolds. Pointed crown morphs into wrinkled trunk. White robes ripple with otherworldly energy. Vintage film grain, soft diffused lighting, 24 frames per second, dreamlike metamorphosis. Now, this is why I love working with an agent, because I can give it the sort of, like, creative direction broadly, but it can do all these, like, little details. And I think this is pretty cool. Really nice. So yeah, what else should we do? Do you have ideas from the chat?
Real quick, we'll come back to your screen, but I want to show you the result here.
Can you run that again?
Yep. Here.
And zoom in a bit.
Boom.
Oh, What? I think the glowing effect is quite cool.
I think that's pretty good.
So
Pretty nice.
I'm not sure if I remember the timeline quite right, but I think there was about a 1 week period before GPT Image 1 where Google had released Gemini 2.0 Flash image. And there was a lot of chatter about it, and people were very excited because you could do stuff like add another person to your selfie or that kind of thing. Um, but then obviously GPT Image came, and GPT Image is a lot better at doing creative stuff, and with the stuff like the Studio Ghibli trend and all of that, just really completely took over. And so I think it's kind of like lovely that like Google Gemini 2.5 is now getting its moment in the sunshine, basically, because it was overshadowed by that GPT Image 1 launch, fairly so because that was a better model, but now the tables have turned.
Yes, 100%. And to be honest, like that first Gemini Flash was pretty good as well. Like it was
Yeah.
really nice, actually. It was really fast in particular. Like that
Definitely.
that made it really useful for these kinds of like, it was super fast and super cheap. So you could just like, it was very useful for these like super fast, funny, memey type of edits. But yeah, you're right. How the tables have turned once again.
100%.
Till they turn
And
again and again
no-
and again.
Another interesting thing is that basically Google Gemini has kind of there's two tiers. There's the Flash tier and then there's the Pro tier. So when you hear people talk about Gemini 2.5 Pro, they're talking about the Pro tier of Gemini 2.5. And this image model, just the same with Gemini 2.0 Flash, is the Flash variant. I don't know if a Pro variant exists or whatever, but this is like the lower tier in a sense. This is the budget, the small size coffee cup.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. I'm waiting for GPT's response to all of this because I think they're overdue for updates on the image model and definitely on Sora. I'm waiting for Sora V2. I really want to see what that looks like.
And I mean, presumably Grok is going to come out with, I mean, they've been sort of like blasting what I can only describe as Stable Diffusion 1.0 slop all over the timeline. And it's like, everyone's like, oh my God, this is amazing. And you're looking at these images and you think like, yeah,
Just
I don't know.
artistically horrendous.
But like, never bet against Elon, and I wouldn't bet against.
He's probably figuring
that
out
team.
how to do image generation from first principles. He's just
Yes,
just
maybe.
going through
And
the baby books tier.
maybe, yeah. And so I'm sure like some of the next versions that they'll come up with are going to be pretty great.
Yeah.
So that's another kind of thing. And of course, like, yeah, like Quen's been really interesting, right? We covered that in our last like, that wasn't stream, but we recorded it. It should be like on our YouTube, where we went wild with Quen image and Wan image, some of these like Chinese models that are also phenomenal. Quen edit I haven't used that much, in particular because it does this like weird annoying thing where it always like locks in to you have to lock in a specific aspect ratio, where I'm like, no, like I have this image that I need to get edited, so I don't want like a new aspect ratio. But yeah, wouldn't underestimate these guys either.
Definitely.
I think we're nearing the hour, and I know it's getting late for you, Eric. It's getting late for me too. It's like 11 p.m. here in Germany. But that was super fun. Do we have like does anyone in the chat have like some final ideas to test or stuff that we should cover?
Final ideas, questions, anything, guys. We are here for it before we sign off here. And just to put out there, we will be back every Wednesday at this same time.
Every Wednesday, yes. And there's so much fun. Like, maybe we should do more of these.
Yeah, I love this. I love sitting on these things. I love playing with the tools for everyone to see. I love going through the crazy ideas, especially with other people. So I love it.
for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, then thank you, Tyler. Thank you, William. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, everyone who joined. This was super fun, and I'm really looking forward to the next episode next week.
Yeah, guys, if you are not already following us, please find us on X at Hey Glif, and same thing over on YouTube. Make sure you follow the YouTube because in the next week or two, we're going to have long form tutorials starting to come out on how to use the new agent system that is launching on our platform, because Glif as a whole is kind of in the middle of a transition into what the next version of the platform is going to be, which we are all very, very excited about. And that's part of the major reason why people like myself and Enigmatic E have hopped on. And yeah, guys, make sure you follow us, like, and subscribe. And if you make anything cool on Glif, please tag us so we can repost it and we can share it on X as well. So with that being said, guys, I am JBoogs Creative. This is Fabian, our fearless leader. William does a lot of the stuff that E and I do not know how to do with building the product. Thank you for joining us, William. And
Of course, thank you, Tyler.
You guys all know Enigmatic E. If you don't, I suggest you go turn on AI YouTube at some point. But we will catch you guys back here, same time, same place, 1 p.m. Pacific, next Wednesday. This is glyph.app. If you guys aren't using it, go try it. Let us know what you think. Take care, everybody.
Thank you for